So, important stuff. Just a quick. What is a prime number? We say that a prime number is a number that has only what? Two factors, one and itself. Alright. So, they will ask you and say, give examples of prime factors. 2, 3, 5, 7, 11, 13, 17, 19, 23, and so forth. As long as those numbers, they are made of one and themselves, not one themselves and other numbers. No. For example, not 4. 4 is not a prime number. You know why? Because it has more than two factors. Look, it has 1 times 4. It also has 2 times 2. So it's, you see now we are having more factors. In a way, you get. Okay. What about 12? Is 12 a prime factor? I mean, a prime number? No, it's not a prime number. Because it's made of 1 times 12, 2 times 6, 3 times 4. So it's made of more numbers. So that cannot be a prime number. A prime number should be made of 1 in itself. For example, 2 is made of 1 times 2. 3 times 1. 5 times 1. 7 times 1. You get? That's what happens. Alright. Another thing we must consider is this. They will ask us a question. They will say, determine the prime factors of 12. They will say, determine what? Prime factors of 12. And how are you going to determine the prime factors of 12? Firstly, you need to write down 12 like as I've shown you. You write 12 and then now you must determine or try to find all the possible factors that you know that can give you 12. Now, what is a factor? Remember I said to you that a factor is basically a number that when you multiply will give you a product, right? So our product is 12 in this case. So our factors should be the numbers that when we multiply them, they're going to give us what? 12. So let me think. And a factor is a number that goes into another number evenly or without leaving a remainder, right? Now, here's the thing. 1 times 12 is 12. 2 times 6 is 12. 3 times 4 is 12. These are the factors of what? 12. Okay? Now, let's write them down in order. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 12 itself. That number itself is also a factor. You get it?
Yes.
So we wrote all of the factors of 12. Now, how are we going to determine a prime factor from here? We must check. Remember a prime factor, we said a prime factor should be what? A prime number. So 2 we know that is going to be a prime number. So a prime factor of 12 is 2 and 3. So it's going to be here. 2 and 3, they are the prime factors of what? 12. Now, for example, we have 4. They say to us, give us prime factors of 4. Okay, prime factors of 4. How am I going to find prime factors of 4? Don't stress. All you got to do is to find all of the factors of 4. Alright? 1 times 4 is 4. 2 times 2 is 4. So I need to write them in order. 1, 2, and 4. Okay? So 1, is it a prime number? No. 2, is it a prime number? Yes. So our prime factor of 4 is only 2. You get?
Yeah.
That's how you find prime factors. Easy peasy lemon squeezy there. Yeah? Okay. So now, since you know what are prime numbers, there is something interesting now that is coming, which you should know. Because in when you're dealing with whole numbers, natural numbers, basically this kind of stuff, you need to remember that there is something called odd.
An odd number.
Yes, odd. I'll use blue. I don't know if this one is a strong one. Yeah, I'll use odd numbers. Okay, what are odd numbers? Odd numbers are basically numbers that cannot be divisible by 2. Simple as that. Odd numbers are numbers that cannot be divisible by 2. What do you mean by that? Can you also try to give examples so that we understand better? Yes, I can give examples. Okay. Numbers that cannot be divisible by 2 are numbers that 2 cannot enter. You get?
Yeah.
So, think about this. 1. Before that, I need it's 1, 3, 5, 7. Oh, like all the numbers you can think of that 2 will never enter. 1, 3, 5, 7. a number that you know, 2 is not going to enter. Like when I divide that number by 2, it's going to leave a remainder.
You could also say 11.
11, but before 11, there's another number can enter. Like 9. 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, 13, 15, and so forth. So, all of these numbers, you can think of them. When I divide, for example, if I divide all of these numbers by 2, it will leave a fraction. So if now, for example, let's just say 3 divided by 2, or I can say 3 divided by 2. It will still be 3 over 2, which is like 1,5 in a decimal. And this is not what we're looking for. Remember, we shouldn't see any of this, right? So it means 2, for it to be divisible, it won't be an odd number, it should be something else, which will come to 8. So these are all the numbers that are not divisible by 2. There are still more that you can generate. As long as, but this is a 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, 13, 15, 17, 21, I think, because 21 as well, because 21 is made of 3 and 7, so 2 cannot also enter there, so 21 is also another odd number. You get? Yeah, so odd is basically that. All right, so let's think of another one. These are the examples of odd numbers. Now let's think of something else. Now there is one, they call it Mr. Even. Mr. Even. So we have prime numbers, we have odd numbers, we have even numbers now. Now what are even numbers? We say that even numbers are numbers that are, my handwriting I know is kind of bad when I'm writing fast. Numbers that are divisible by 2. Are numbers that are divisible by 2. We call them what? Even numbers. If you want to know even numbers, count in 2s, my brother. 2, 4, 6, 8, blah. Exactly. That's how you get even numbers. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, and so forth. And 20, exactly. 22, 24,
28.
You get?
Oh, yeah.
And so forth. So these, I think 26 is also an even number. Yeah, but these are all the even numbers you can think of. So all the numbers that are divisible by 2, we call them what? Even numbers. So we have even numbers, we have odd numbers, we have prime numbers, which we have discovered. Now I'm going to come into something else called composite numbers. Yep. Composite numbers. So you're going to know the difference of these numbers. So we have this one called composite. So let's think of a composite number. A composite number now is, we say that a composite number is a number that has more than 2 factors. A number, or let's just say composite number, not numbers. A composite number, a number that has more than 2 factors. More than 2 factors. So meaning that composite number, it shouldn't be like a prime number. Remember, prime number only has 2 factors, one in that number, like one in itself, right? So when you think of a composite number, I must think of those numbers that, for example, your 12. Your 12 is a composite number. You know why? Because it has more than 2 factors. Look, it has, let me show you. It has 1 times 12. That's the 2 factors it has. Another 2 factors it has what? 2 times 6, 3 times 4. You see, it has more than 2 factors. So that's what we call a composite number. Think about 4. It has 1 times 4, 2 times 2. Think about 6. 1 times 6, 3 times 2. As long as it has more than, we call it a composite number. What other number can we think of? 9. 9 has 1 times 9, 3 times 3, 10. 1 times 10, 2 times 5, 14. 1 times 14, and also 2 times 7. So you can think of they are there. A lot of numbers that are composite numbers. So a composite is like a family now. It comes in a package.
Yeah.
It's not like a prime number. A prime number is like who made you. It's always gonna be your mom and your dad. At the end of the day, they are always your parents. There could never be any other. You understand? There would never be any other people who can replace them. Then you have a composite. A composite is like those people that are they are close related to you. Think of your brother, sister, whatever. You see, those are composite numbers. Composite is like a family because it's more than that. You get.
Yes.
Yeah. So these are examples of composite numbers. Yep.